Hey friends, welcome to the 38th episode of the Sunday Knitting Society podcast. My name is Chelsea and I'm a knitter in Oklahoma City. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. It's been a while. It's felt really weird, if I'm honest, because I was like podcasting every week in December. And then I don't remember how many I did in January. I think it's just 2 in January. Oh no, I had a bonus one because I had my recap. And then February got busy and just went most of February without podcasting. It was weird, like on the weekends I'd be like, oh, there's something I need to do. I'm like, no, actually there's not. Like, your job is to knit. So yeah, it's been a minute. This could be a very long episode. Yeah, I have a mountain of stuff today, so buckle up. Who knows? I could talk super fast and this could actually be a very short episode, but it could also be real long. So we will just see. So let's talk about what I'm wearing. This, I believe, is the Calliope sweater, which is a pattern by, I think it was Melissa Clow, but it was with the Espace Tricot, and I want to say it's still free. Wow, actually, I haven't worn this in a long time because it's got mohair in it, and I like the look of mohair, but I have a hard time wearing it. It's very itchy to me. So I have to wait till the temperature goes down, and today is that day. It's in the 20s at like almost, it's 10 a.m. now. And it's in the 20s. That's the coldest we've been in a hot minute. So my house it insulates well, but I keep it cold. And so when the weather dips, it kind of feels extra cold. And so I can wear this today. I knit this in Amelia and Philomene. I don't know what bases it was. It'll probably be in my Ravelry. But I knit it with a fingering weight and a mohair. And look at that ribbing. That ribbing starts there. I don't remember doing that long of ribbing. I kind of like it though. I kind of want to do that actually. So one of the things that I've been thinking about that I really wanted to do, because it's been sitting here for too long, is my birdie and trio in the radish colorway. It would be almost the same sweater. It's funny how, yeah, it's funny how you gravitate to the same colors. I won't do the same sweater pattern, but I will probably this would look good with a long cuff. Oh, that's funny. I knit this, I think I knit this in 2020. When I had so much extra time at home. I believe I actually ordered this yarn over the phone from Do You Knit in New Jersey, which I must really want it if I'm willing to call in and order it. I don't like calling anyone. I don't like talking on the phone, so it's funny. But yeah, I like the sweater itself. I actually really like. It fits really well. It's got a very kind of like boxy, relaxed fit. You can see the crease from where it's been folded for a while. But yeah, it's super cozy and I like it. Okay, I don't even know where to start. So one of the reasons, so there's going to be a really long acquisition section of this video, and I will do that at like towards the end, or maybe I'll like put in a timestamp for where you can jump ahead, because I get that that's not everybody's cup of tea, and that is perfectly fine. But if it is, there's a lot. So my birthday was Monday. Woohoo! I love my birthday. I celebrate it every year, even if it's just like buying myself a cupcake and that's all it is. I don't care. I will celebrate it. I love birthdays. I think it is a privilege to get older, and I also think I just become more myself every year. And so I think you learn a lot about yourself, about who you want to be and who you don't want to be. And I love it. I love getting older. I didn't used to. I do now. But I bought myself a lot of yarn for my birthday. So there's a lot. My brain was like, okay, I have 3 FOs today. One of them, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell a whole lot about it, so I'm not going to go into detail on it, but I am going to show it. And the other 2, I'm allowed to. So I'll start with the little one. I knit myself a hat. So this is the classic rib beanie from PurlSoho. I like it. The only thing I don't like, and I did an extra long length so I could fold up a big solid brim. I really hate it when hats very easily stretch here. I want them to be snug on the band or the cuff. This one isn't. Like when I just like look up, it just kind of like, it's just too loose. And it kind of annoys me because I really like it otherwise. It's very neutral. I knit it out of the yarn that I bought when I was in Milan. It's super soft. And the tag was all in Italian. And there was one word on there that I was like, what on earth? I honestly couldn't figure out what it meant. So I had to use Google Translate. It's irrestringable. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. Means unshrinkable. So that's cool. So this is unshrinkable. Not that I plan to put it through the washer and dryer, because it's also like extra fine merino. But I like this pattern. It was very soothing. I kind of mentioned one of my goals for this year is to not put deadlines on myself, to not volume knit, to knit because I enjoy it and because I like to process knit, I guess, more than product knit. And small projects like this really feel like a process knit to me because they're quick. They are a lot less substantial than a sweater, and so it doesn't feel as like big of an accomplishment when you finish it. It also kind of feels like, this is gonna sound, it feels like a waste of my time to knit something like this, which is ridiculous. But it's like, I could be knitting a sweater right now. I could be making another sweater. Instead, I'm wasting my time knitting this tiny little accessory. But it's not a waste of time. It actually is very soothing. It forces you to slow down because you can't punch out as many sweaters when you're knitting little accessories. And it's also nice because it is relatively quick. Like this took me less than a week. And so you do get a new product as well, but it forces me to slow down on my other projects, which is nice. And it felt like a little bit of a luxury just because it did feel like I was wasting my time a little bit. So I have another one of these as a whip, but I like this pattern. I think part of the reason this is a little too loose here is because this is a finer yarn, and so the next one I'm doing is a little thicker. But another thing I might try for the next one is actually going down a needle size for like the first 4 inches and then going up a needle size after that to make it just a little tighter. So there's that. Okay, and then I debated wearing this today, but it's a pretty lightweight sweater. Garment, sweater, it's a sweater. And I wanted something warmer, but I finished my birthday sweater. I love it so much. Like, look at that. Okay, so what makes this sweater so fantastic is I spun this yarn. I am very proud of myself. Look at that fade. That's nuts. There's no possible way for me to match up my sleeves because the yarn doesn't match. The yarn was totally random, so I just went with it. There's also obviously a different like stripe width in the body to the arms. Again, I don't care. I love this neckline. Look at the colors on that are like killing me. It is so soft. I knit this out, or I spun this from a Nest Fibers Valentine's Day Advent from last year. It took me almost the whole year to spin it, mostly because I stopped spinning at some point and just didn't spin for months at a time. To the point that like when I got back to my e-spinner, I had to figure out how to use it again. But I actually still have like a skein and a half of this stuff, and I am massively proud of this. I was not expecting to be able to spin a sweater's quantity for years. Like I was honestly thinking like this is gonna take me years to get to this, and it didn't. It was actually much faster than I thought. So if you can kind of see, this is already pilling. I don't remember what the fiber was. I think it was merino. It might be superwash merino, but I don't remember. I think she actually had a couple different ones you could do, and I chose, I think I chose the merino option. I don't remember, but and I don't remember how much I got, which is also great because it was a sweater's quantity and I don't remember how much it was. I could probably go look it up, and it probably was similar to this year's because I think she did it again this year. But it is incredibly soft. I did a 2-ply. It honestly feels like cashmere, but like not itchy. I find cashmere slightly itchy. This has no itch. I wore this next to skin. I've already worn it a couple of times, and it has already started pilling. So this will probably, I don't know though. I was gonna say this will probably be a little bit of a precious thing. I don't want it to be. I would much rather wear this to the point that it's got holes and it looks terrible than put it on a shelf and never wear it. So, but yeah, it was the Cozy Classic Raglan, the OG one by Jessie Maed Designs. I love this sweater. I really like the neckline on this. This is my second one I've done. And I like how substantial the collar is compared to the rest of the sweater. I also really like the, I think the yoke depth is like spot on for me in this sweater. That looks kind of cool. I like that striping. This ended up actually being a size smaller than I would have chosen. I did not swatch. I was afraid I'd run out of yarn, so I did not swatch. So I actually picked, I don't remember what size I picked, but my gauge was smaller. And so I think when I got to, like I got a few inches into the body and tried it on, I was like, ooh, this is snug. And it's not, it fits. It's actually, I'm glad it turned out the size smaller, because I think what I'm learning about myself as I pick sweaters, like sizes, is I actually prefer a size smaller than I would think I would want. So normally I go for something that's got 4 to 5 inches of ease, positive ease. Now I lost a tiny bit of weight, this past year, and my bust size actually went down because I lost weight there first, which is like rude. But so my bust size went down a little bit, but not that much. But what I'm finding is actually I prefer, instead of like 5 inches of ease, I actually prefer like 3. And so that's interesting, I think, just to kind of think about picking patterns that have less ease and liking them better. So anyway, but yep, that's my birthday sweater. It will definitely get more wear. It's a lighter weight garment, so it's not really one I want to wear when it's very cold outside. But it's very nice and I'm very proud of it. Okay, I'm gonna get some water. This thing does not like to open. Okay, this has not been released yet. This was a test knit that I did for Rebecca Clow. And I have mixed feelings about this. So this just got announced, and I am allowed to show photos of it, like FO photos, but I'm not going to go into tons of detail yet because it's not coming out till March. But this is the Pladda sweater. You can see it all. So This is a top-down raglan, all over color work in this beautiful grid. I actually love the pattern, like the grid pattern. It is so easy to, it's like immediately memorizable. I love the raglan. I think she does such a good job. Like, she has such a nice eye for detail. So her finishes are always so nice. So this is coming out in the March line of magazine. And I think it's like ocean themed or waterways thing. I don't remember how this fits in with the name. But there's background in the book. I actually already pre-ordered my magazine, so I think it comes out mid-March, I think. And yeah, I love knitting this. I flew through this pattern. So it is, I think it's a worsted weight gauge. I need to actually look at my specs because I put it on my Ravelry, but I didn't include any of my specs because I wrote them down instead of putting them in my phone, and now I have to go find the paper pattern to remember how much I used. But I used, let's see if I have it in here. Nope, well, I have another ball, but I don't know where it is. I used Durarum Naturia Gilead in the Boidereau for my main color, and then my contrast color was La Bien-Aimée Cory Confetti in the Gray Bow colorway. Now, I think her confetti yarn is no longer Cory Confetti. I believe it's just confetti, and it's a different base. So I don't know if it would work as well. I don't know if the weight has changed on it or not. But it's like a tweedy yarn, and I absolutely love the little pops of tweed in there. I think it makes it so fun. So I love that part of it. It's a very boxy sweater, which I don't mind on the body. Where I don't love this so much is the sleeves. So these are massive sleeves. Like, these sleeves are, there's not enough shaping in them for my liking. And I actually had to go back in later and I shortened them by like 4 inches because it grew when I blocked it. And so they were like out to here, and that annoys me. And especially because they're so loose, you can't push them up. So this ended up feeling very oversized and boxy, which is definitely a jam, but it's not as much my jam. So I kind of feel it feels a little big when I wear it. Now the other thing that she has in the pattern that I didn't do is she adds on a duplicate stitch for the grid pattern back here. I hate duplicate stitch, so I didn't do it. I figured from the front it looks fine, from the back who cares. I don't care enough to go in. I actually did try, and all my duplicate stitch looked super wonky, and I was just like, I'm not willing to ruin this sweater at the very end. So I just chose not to, and I think other testers chose not to as well, so I'm not the only one. But I would say if you like a big loose sleeve, you will love this. And I still wear it. I still like this sweater. I think the colors are so fun. That was really the only thing I didn't like about it, was the sleeves. And you could actually change that. Sorry, I've got mohair in my eyelashes. Ugh. You could probably change that. You could just decrease at a faster rate and put more decreases in there. You could totally do that. Or you could, I kind of tried this a little bit where I went down like 3 needle sizes for the cuff, but you could go down like more than that and actually do a longer cuff. That would give you kind of a balloon sleeve. I think that would look really cool. But as always, this pattern is very well written. Yeah, I think I only found one area in it that was, I think it was just a math typo, but other than that, super easy to follow, very intuitive. 2 thumbs up. It's covered in my hair. I have worn this several times and it hasn't started to pill at all, which is fantastic because I don't like depilling things. I will do it, but I don't like it. Okay. Y'all, I got back into my Peloton this morning I thought I had done a ride not that long ago, but turns out the last ride I did was January of 2023. That was for a couple reasons. One, I get really bad shoulder pain, and last year, or like, I guess, yeah, for like several months, every time I rode my Peloton, I would have like a week of just horrible left shoulder pain. And so I kind of stopped doing it, and then I started running, and I spent most of last year running. So, but I miss it. And now Peloton has a partnership with Netflix and Disney Plus and Max and YouTube TV. So I can watch TV on my Peloton, and I'm pumped about it, because I think I'm going to be able to watch the Giro d'Italia, which is a big cycling race, while riding my Peloton. And I'm going to feel so cool. I'm going to feel really lame, actually. I sold my road bike because I was scared of it. My dad is a cyclist, and he very much wanted me to get into it. And I thought it was really cool. I was starting to get into cycling, like watching it. And he took me to a bike shop. We bought me a really nice carbon frame. I think it's carbon frame. I don't know. Really nice road bike. And then I discovered that I couldn't reach the ground when I was sitting on the saddle. And then when you clip in, it adds an extra layer of terror. So for like the first few weeks I owned it, I literally, I have a railing in my backyard, like the steps that go down, and I can get next to the railing and hold on. And so I was literally holding onto the railing while practicing getting on and off my bike. I fell clipped in at least 3 times, I think 4 times. Thankfully no injuries. And they were all like at a stop, essentially, or like almost a stop. But they were all in crowds. And that's really fun. And every time I would fall, I just thought, you know what? I much prefer running. I prefer running so much more than this. Like, the only way you're gonna fall when you run is if you step on something, or you step in a hole, or you're not paying attention, or you roll your ankle. But like, you can prevent those very easily. Whereas on a bike, you're going to fall at some point. Even pros fall. And so, yeah, I sold my bike. I don't want to ride. I don't want to ride anything that isn't stationary. So, I don't know how I got on that tangent. I apologize. But yeah, anyway, I'm thirsty. That's why. Because I did a whole 15-minute ride today. Trying to start back slow to not aggravate the muscle. Alrighty. Okay. Let's talk about whips. Okay, I have a hoe, which, for those of you who don't know what that term is, I realize I've said that several times, and that probably sounds terrible. It's a half-finished object. So it should be a huffo, but it's not. It's a hoe. And this, I'm a little annoyed with. So this is my February sock. So I joined this looks so tiny. I'm holding it. Maybe I'm going to get one of those little slock blockers. Alrighty, so this was January's sock. I don't know if I showed this or not, but so I signed up for the La Mercerie, I always forget what they call it, year of socks, whatever. And this was February's color, and I love the colors. Oh, I forgot what the dyer's name was. Like Through the Wardrobe or something. But here. So this color is Pirouette, and then there's this pretty like pale lavender contrast color. So I finished the first sock, but this was a very thin, right? This is what happens when I wear mohair. So it's a very thin yarn, and I kind of thought, lose my mind if I don't get this fuzz off my lips. Oh, there he is. Okay. So it's very thin yarn. And I normally use a US 1.5 needle. And I think I cast on with that and just thought, ooh, this looks way too loose. And in all fairness, like this is my standard. I always do the same pattern. Very vanilla sock. This is on a 1.5 and this is a little bit loose on me. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna go down to a 1 and it's gonna be great. And I do like the fabric. Like it's not really that big of a change, but it's lovely. Where I'm annoyed with myself is in the foot because I made the foot too small. It fits, but it is tight. So I probably should have knit an extra 1/4 inch at least before I started the toe. I think I thought my toe would be like 1.5 inches and it's just not. That's like 1 inch. So like you can even see this is a good, I feel like this, let's see. Yep, this thing is about as long as my foot. And you can see that the heel, where you turn the heel, is really struggling to stay up here. So I think I might, when I block it, I'm gonna be very aggressive and try to stretch it. But here's my conundrum, because I just started sock 2. So do I correct this problem for sock 2 so that the second sock fits better, but then have mismatched socks? Or is that too annoying, so I need to make them exactly the same and have matching socks that don't fit? I don't know. I think I'm gonna make them matching because I think it's gonna irritate me more to have one tight sock and one loose sock. So I think I'm just gonna knit them the same. I also am annoyed because when I put them on last night, I thought I knit this cuff like way long. Like this is, I normally knit the cuff or the leg like 4 to 5 inches, and I knit this over 5 inches, not by much. But in my mind, it was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be the tallest sock ever. And then I put it on and it's like exactly the same, if not shorter than my normal sock. Yeah, it's shorter than my normal sock. So this is annoying. But it's okay. It still technically fits, and maybe it will stretch out. All of my socks stretch out with time, so maybe this will be the solution. Maybe this will stretch out just enough and it will fit me perfectly after a couple wears. I don't know, but I like it. I think it's pretty. It's blowing out really, really bad right now, but I have one down. I just started the second sock. I put it, oh, I was like, where did I put this? Like I have 5 rows in the cuff. That's it. So I'll work on it. But, yeah, I'm enjoying this whole like knit a sock a month. I already have next month's sock planned. I will show you. It's in the acquisitions. I am pumped. But yeah, okay. Ugh, that is whip number 1. The other thing is I found my muscle burra. I've done almost nothing on it. So I started this last year. Yeah, because I think I took this to Italy with me in October. I don't remember when I started it. I don't even have it in Ravelry. And I don't remember, oh, it has do I have the thing in it? I have a thing in it. Oh gosh, if I can get it out. What is this? Is this Farmer's Daughter? Yeah, this is Farmer's Daughter. This is Squish Fingering an elk antler. There, I don't like taking the tag out because then you can't ever get it back in. So this is my first color. My second color is going to be, oh gosh, is going to be this. And I think this is Chelsea yarn in like charcoal. So these are my 2 colors. This is another like good mindless knit. If I didn't have a sock going, this would kind of be like my sock equivalent. I am a little worried that I made this too small? We're in like the weird, not quite hat stage. I think it's okay. This is another one I'll just block aggressively. Because my first one, my pink one that I made, is a bit too small. And I think I blocked that one. But I might reblock it and stretch it more. Because I appreciate a hat that's tight here. I don't appreciate a hat that's tight here. Because then it just, and it comes off your head. And that's not fun. So, okay, so that's that. And then this, oh gosh, it's tangled as heck. This is my second, okay, alrighty, friend. Jeez Louise, this is so tangled. This is my second simple rib beanie. I think that's what it is. Do I have fuzz on me? No. I am fuzz today. That's what I am. So, very different from the first one. I love this color. This is Midori Sour by Creo. And I have my little junk yarn Barbie shoe. That's the beginning of round marker. So yeah, I'm like 1.5 inches into this, and I am double stranding this. So this is the fingering weight. I think this is like a silk blend fingering weight. I didn't keep the tag. But I think this will just be so fun. This was getting a lot of work until I decided to put more effort into my next whip. So I need to get back at this. This is this is one of those projects that feels like I'm wasting my time because I'm not knitting a sweater, but it's not. It's a good thing. So loving these. This is just my hat bag right now. Okay, we're gonna slow down and drink some water again because hydration is important. All right. Okay. I'm gonna show. I have a big whip, but I'm going to show the little whip first because I've barely done anything on the little whip. But it also is a hand spun project that I'm pumped about. So I think last podcast I showed you guys some fiber that I had spun up, and I was about to ply it, and there was 3 different colors, and it is interesting. So let me show you. I did it as a triple ply, 3 ply, and it's weird. I like it, but it's weird. So it is definitely like a DK worsted weight, but this is my finished product. So it came out a lot more orange heavy than I was expecting, like orange and blue, which is interesting. But I ended up, I had like 700, 800 yards. So probably not enough for a sweater, but there's some of it caked up. So I think it's super fun. So, gosh, talk about knotted. Look at that. Let's fix that. Golly, how do I manage to make this so knotted? Okay, fixed. This is my traveler cowl. It was bigger, but I had to rip it back. So I had that much extra knitted that I had to rip back, because I had 2 projects going that were going to need a shorter needle, and this was the size 6 needle, and there was a size 3 needle, and I wasn't paying attention, and I grabbed the size 3 needle and got like that much done, and then realized, like, why is this so tight? Like, this is not enjoyable to knit on because I was the wrong needle size by 3. So I ripped it all out and started again. So I just have the first little section done. You really can't even tell anything. You're not even, there you go. You can see it. I haven't gotten into the body of this thing. and I'm hoping it gets better, but I'm finding it really hard to read my knitting and like understand what's coming next in the pattern. So that's kind of frustrating, because it is one of those things like I really have to pay attention when I knit it. But I love this cowl shape. I've made 3 of the shift cowl, which is the same shape, and then I made her Ryusei cowl, which was in Amarisu, and I love it. I think I have it. Let me see if I have it. It might be downstairs, but let's see. Oh, I have it. Yeah. So this is, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but I got some little lavender sachets, but they are strong. Goodness. This one must have been laying right next to it. Okay, so this one's an oversized, like much bigger than the shift cowl. Okay. Jeez, it's like my eyes are burning with lavender. It's obviously not real lavender. It's some kind of like lavender scent, but it's okay. I love this one. You have these little baubles that are different colors. So if you look on the inside, you can see where my little floats are. But this style I like, where it's like, you work it on the bias and then you seam it together in the back. My seaming isn't great, so I'm sure hers looked better. This ended up being quite massive. Normally hers are not this big, or this shape isn't that big. But I like that shape, and so I'm excited for this, and I'm excited to do it in my hand spun. So I have 3 skeins. This is the littlest skein, and then I've got 2 that are about this size. So I'm definitely gonna have enough for like the biggest size on this cowl. But it's also going to be interesting since it's 3 different bats of yarn, and they are all, it's 3-ply, so there's not big color floats in it necessarily. That being said, there definitely are like dominant colors. Like there's definitely some striping, so I'm really excited to see how that looks in this. But that is the tiniest whip. Actually, I don't know. The sock might be tied for tiniest whip right now. All right. I have more fuzz in my eyelashes. How does this keep happening? We're back. Alrighty. So this is a whip that has been going on for a while, but I hadn't done a whole lot on it until last week, this week, I don't remember. I was just like, I want this sweater. I want it now. So this is my Monday sweater, which is a pattern by PetiteKnit. This is my 3rd or 4th, I think. Sorry, y'all. That hair is still there. I can feel it. I don't think I got it. It's going to keep bothering me. But we're going to move on. It's fine. Okay. So yeah, this is my 3rd or 4th. I don't even know. I've lost count. I love this sweater. This is the Monday sweater by PetiteKnit. I love it, but I'm learning that there's some things about it I don't love. I love the folded collar, but I always think I'm knitting it long enough, and then the weight of the sweater pulls it and it becomes a thinner collar. So I think I need to go buy some elastic, and I think I'm going to try to put some elastic in here to keep its shape a little better. But in the future, I'm going to knit this like an extra inch long, just so I have an even bigger collar. The other thing is that I don't remember if I knit a swatch. I think I did knit a swatch for this, and I might not have though, because I've knit this sweater enough times. I think I might have just picked the size. I've learned I want the size below the one I think I need. So I did one size down, and I think her yoke depth, her raglan depth is just too long for me. So I didn't remember that. So she has you do like a typical like every other round increase on both sides of the raglan until a certain point, and then you only increase on the body every other round. If I were to do that exactly, my raglan would be way too deep, like almost a dolman for me. And I didn't want that. And so I actually, instead of when you do just the body increases, I did every round an increase. And I still think it's a little too deep. But I've tried it on and I like it. I am like almost 8 inches into the body. And the other thing I'm going to do, because I've learned this from other sweaters that I have knit, or actually I learned this from doing that recap of my sweaters from 2023, is that I keep knitting them too short. I want them longer. So I would normally do like a 10 or 11 inch body, and then the ribbing, I think I normally do like a 10 inch body and then ribbing. So I'm going to do 11 inches and the ribbing and then block it, and it's going to end up even longer. So I'm hoping to finish the body this week. That's kind of my goal, is finish the body this week. So I've got like another 5 inches of knitting for the body. And I am knitting this out of some yarn that I got from Norway. So this is the Hillesvåg Tinda. Come on, there we go. And this is in the blue-gray colorway, or the blå-grå, which is just fun to say. I got 6 skeins of this, and I'm gonna be pretty spot on. This is a very rustic wool. It is soft, but it does have some toothiness to it. It's a lot softer in the skein, and then when you start knitting it up, it's scratchy. Now I did steam block this at one point, and it got a lot softer with steam blocking. So I think with a full block, it'll be a lot softer, and I think it'll bloom really nice. And I love the color. I would knit with this yarn again, but this is probably not going to be next to Skin Soft for me. Just because my tolerance to scratchy wool is just not as good. But I really like this yarn. And actually this fall, the big conference I go to every fall is in Denmark. So I am at least going to be going to Denmark and Norway. I might be also adding on Finland and Sweden. Just depends on how much time I have. So I'm like trying to decide, like, can I order yarn from Hillesvåg, have it delivered to my hotel in the time frame when I'm in the country? Like, can I time this right so that the hotel isn't having to hold on to my yarn for like a month before I get there? So we'll see. But I also need to find out if any of you know this in Norway, if there are some yarn shops in Oslo that stock Hillesvåg, please let me know. I've already started looking. I will be going to Knitting for Olive in Denmark, in Copenhagen. Oh, there's one other big one. I'm blanking on the name, but I'm going. I might bring an extra suitcase. Or I might just wear the same thing every day so that I can put all of the yarn in my suitcase, which is going to be hilarious because I'm going to Flock this year as well. I'm bringing my mom with me, but Flock is in August and this trip is in September. I'm going to have so much yarn. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I digress. I like this yarn. I think I bought exactly enough of it. Hopefully I will be done with this sweater by the next podcast. Maybe I'll wear it. We'll see what the weather's like. But I think, I'm trying to think. I like this sweater. Or this pattern. I really like it. But the yoke depth is annoying me. And the fact that I feel like maybe I just need to start knitting a smaller size and we'll see like how much the yarn blocks, because I feel like the first one I knit in this pattern I loved. The second one is not my favorite. It's way too big, and part of that is the yarn I used. This one may split the difference. We'll see. Excuse me, but I may start trying other Raglans and just see. Like, I love the no frills. That was my first one I made from her and I love it. So maybe I'll go back to the no frills, but just add that chunky collar. We'll see. But this has been delightful to knit on. It's one of those that it's great because if you do drop a stitch, this yarn is so sticky that it's not going to unravel. You can just like make it go back on the needle. Super easy. Okay, so that is all of my whips. There's a lot of them. We're at 46 minutes and I haven't even gotten to acquisitions. Okay. Ow. Oh, ow. Just like smacked my fingernail on this bottle. Okay, I've got a little bit more spinning and then lots of acquisitions. So I'll do the spinning first. So I pulled out, I have, my attic is right over there, and I have these plastic tubs full of all of my fiber for spinning. And I pulled it out a few weeks ago and just started like going through it and trying to, since I've gotten it back into spinning, part of it is I was trying to go through it and figure out like what can I make sweaters with. But annoyingly, I have a lot of single bats. And I found one that I have no idea what the fiber is. It was not labeled, it was not in a bag, it was just out. And it was a small, I don't even weigh it. I don't know how much I had. It was atrocious to spin. I hated every second of spinning this, but I made myself do it. So this is the final product. I think it looks a lot better than I thought it would. I thought this was going to be an absolute disaster of an art yarn. I don't know if you can see it. It's got this gold metallic thread through all of it, and then all these like neps, but they were not evenly spaced. And so so the fiber, the base fiber is incredibly fine. Short staple, slippery, kind of annoying to knit with, honestly. And then there'd be these huge clumps of whatever the nep fiber is. I don't think it was silk. I don't know what it was, but they would just be matted in there. And so I'd actually have to like turn off my machine to kind of like tease those out a little bit, or they just like, it just pull it on and just be like this boom, clump. So it was stressful to spin actually, because I was trying, there was like a balance between having enough tension to actually pull the fiber or the ply onto the bobbin, but not like rip it out of my hand. That was just so frustrating. And then trying to get an even ply was just impossible. It was completely impossible because these neps were just in big hunks. But what was more upsetting, once I plied this, plied it together, I was like, it's actually not too bad. Again, surprisingly even for how atrocious of a spinning process it was. But I washed this. It smelled horrid. I don't know what dyes were used on this. I don't know what type of fiber this was. It smelled like cigarettes. It smelled horrible, and the water was like murky. I actually had to wash it several times to get the color to stop bleeding, but I couldn't determine where. Like, it had to be from those neps. But it smelled so bad. I was just like, I feel like I need to, like, I rinsed it out many times until it wasn't losing any more color. But like, I don't know that I want to use this for anything, because that was such an unpleasant spinning experience, and I don't know what it is. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit, but it's done. It's done. It doesn't smell bad now. It smells okay. Maybe I will use it for some like mittens or something. I don't know, but not my fave. And then I'm in the I'm going to try to finish it this weekend, or finish my second ply. I pulled out another bat. I don't remember what this fiber is. Actually, I think it's an American wool top. So it's not like a breed specific, but it's pretty. It's like goldy greens, goldy browns kind of, and then like dark charcoal and some pale blue and some purple. I thought about doing another combo spin with two other colors, but this one was kind of unique. And so I thought, okay, let's just make a single skein. It'll be fine. It'll be a quick one. I bought some fiber. Had no business buying fiber, but I bought fiber. for my birthday, and I bought a sweaters quantity and I really want to spin it. And so I thought, let's just get through this quicker. So I'm about a third of the way through my second bobbin. So I'll probably work on that today and tomorrow and just see if I can get it done. I think I can get that done and then ply it up next week. But yeah, it's been fun. I'm really enjoying spinning right now. It's very different from knitting, but it's a good break from knitting. And so I'm enjoying it. And I have a huge fiber stash because I was in 2 fiber clubs that were monthly for like over a year and I barely spun any of it. So I've got a backlog. I've got 2 totes full of fiber. And so my goal is that in the next year to really work through that, to get most, if not all of that spun up. Because for lots of reasons, but, it's just, yeah, it's fun. And I'm looking forward to doing that. So anyway, so that's the one I'm working on now. The attack of the fuzz. Okay. I have a plan, but it involves an acquisition. So I am about to get in the acquisition part. If that is not your jam, I fully support that. Don't watch it. Stay strong. Don't buy more yarn. If you are interested in it, get your knitting, get a beverage. We're going to be here for a minute. If you're heading out, or you're leaving, I'm going to plan to be back here in 2 weeks. I have some time off a couple weeks from now. And so I'm definitely going to be recording. So I will be back on the regular schedule, in 2 weeks. So I will see you. All right. So as many of you may know, I was on a little bit of a yarn buying hiatus last year. I was paying off my student loans, which I did in December, yay. But I didn't buy nearly as much yarn as I have in the past. There were some months I didn't buy any. And my birthday again was Monday, and so I had decided that I was going to, sorry, my neighbor's leaving, and I'm like, don't look at me, please don't look at me. I don't actually think they can see inside. But yeah, so I had this idea for my birthday that I was going to get myself a present for every day of my birthday week. And I was going to wrap them up and unwrap them each day. That snowballed. There were a lot of presents. I think at one point, I got close to 20 presents that I bought myself. Now, granted, some of them were small. They were not all big. And some of them was one gift that I wrapped in multiple different packages. So I wasn't that crazy, but I did go a little nuts. But it's also my first birthday being debt-free. I wanted to celebrate. I also hadn't bought a ton of yarn. And the floodgates have opened. I bought a lot of yarn. So, what should I talk about first? Okay. The first one I opened, also there's a plan with it. So okay, how do I even talk about this? I discovered Lamb & Kids Birdie last year. And I had ordered several skeins of it and then decided I wanted to knit the Instant Crush by Joji Locatelli, but I was like short one skein of taffy. And so I ordered another skein of it. It was much paler than my original skein. And then I ordered another round of it and it was still much paler. So third time's the charm, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but let me show you. So, okay. So this was my original taffy. So very punchy. Love this color. This was my second taffy. So very different. And the third round I bought was also similar to this. So this last round, we actually got a lot closer. So I think this is close enough as long as they are not, oh, now it looks really different, but they're not that different. Like that looks better. It's definitely, let's see if I can hold these together. It's definitely better than this. It's much closer with this. So I think these are close enough as long as I don't have them next to each other. I might still alternate them in the Instant Crush. So like do each time I need the pink, do one or the other. So it's not like top half is bright, lower half is not as bright. But I now have enough to do that sweater. So I need to, I don't know when I'm going to cast that on. I haven't felt real motivated to do it, but I've already swatched. So I could start it at any point. But I didn't just stop there because I've kind of wanted to try the Big Birdie. And PetiteKnit recently released a pattern called the Cloud Sweater, which I love. And so the gauge wasn't exactly, so I'm gonna have to fudge the gauge, but they had a dyed to order, and this is the Forage colorway. And even though I told myself I'm not allowed to buy any more green yarn, I actually bought another thing of green yarn. I like green sweaters, okay? So I bought 6 skeins of this, and then on a whim I also bought Peanut because I think Peanut is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if it's the right color for me, but I figured what I could do is knit the whole sweater in Forage and then do the last round on the sleeves and the cuffs in Peanut, just to add like a little tip of color. But I think when I actually bought this, I was gonna make the Fancy, which is a pattern in Big Birdie by Lemon Kid. But then I started looking at the other people's knits, like other people who made it on Ravelry, and it wasn't really the look I was going for. And so then I said, okay, we're gonna make the Cloud. But I didn't think I had enough. So when I made a second order and ordered a 7th skein, but different dye lots. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to use this, which is fine. I can use this to swatch, but like, look at that. It's just so beautiful. So if you don't know what Big Birdie is, it is an Aran weight. Let's see, it's 79% alpaca, 21% silk. It is 174 yards per 100 grams. So it's basically just like a Big Birdie, but it's really nice. So I swatched with it, and this is my swatch. It actually had better stitch definition than I thought it would. This came out at, this was on a US 7? Is that what this is? Oh, that's funny that I might be able to see that. Yeah, it's a US 7, which is what the Cloud is knit on. And it's supposed to be an 18 stitch gauge, and I got 14 to 15. I'm gonna count it as 15 because I think once the weight stretches it this way, the row gauge will come in a little bit. But I like the fabric. It's dense, but it's not heavy, and it wasn't unpleasant to knit. It was actually quite nice to knit. So with this gauge, I would actually go down, I think I was going to knit the extra large, and I think now I can knit like the small or like the medium, I think, which feels it's meaningless because it's still the same, like it's still gonna be the same width, but it means I need less yarn, which is nice. Now I will have to be a little careful with row gauge because I was actually on row gauge. I'm just way off on stitch gauge. So there's part of me that wants to do this one next because I think this would go so fast and it would be so snuggly and comfortable. But there's another one I swatched with before that is just absolutely, I'm itching to cast it on, and that is her Storm Sweater. And this is in the Knitting for All of Heavy Merino. Poppy blue. Let's see, this looks like cornflower to me, or cerulean, but it's poppy blue. which I love this color too. And I just keep thinking like this would be such a squishy, delightful sweater. And I think I was on gauge. I'll have to remeasure it, but I don't know which one to start first. I feel like I want to start this one because it'll be really simple and it'll be done really quick. And then I can do this one, but I want this one this season. I'm trying to remind myself to process knit, not product knit. But we'll see. We'll kind of, what's going to happen is I'm going to finish my Monday sweater and then just going to go where the spirit leads me. Okay. So that is acquisition number 1. There's a few. The next thing I did, and I had kind of asked you guys, like, what, should I open this now? Should I wait? But I have really good willpower and I waited. I wrapped that sucker up. I wrapped it up in my Party Dogs wrapping paper from Rifle Paper Company and it was adorable. But this one was really fun to unwrap. So I ordered, and I posted this on Instagram, so you guys may have already seen this. I love Spin Cycles Nocturne. They're moody and dark. They're not as in your face. And I was looking at their update, and honestly, so they'll kind of give options of like what different skeins will look like. And there's no guarantee that you're gonna get exactly that. That's the beauty of Spin Cycle, is every skein is different. And sometimes they're close different, sometimes they're very different. But I liked every single variation I saw, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna chance it. I like every skein I got. Like, I think I hit the Spin Cycle jackpot. I'm so happy. I have no idea what I'm using this for, but I'm happy to own it. So this one is, so this is the first colorway I got. This is Witching Hour. I swear this is like the dark version of Ghost Ranch. So I got 2 skeins of it. I got 2 skeins of each of these, but I love it. I have no idea what I'm doing with it, but it's gonna be beautiful. The other one I got 3 of them, just so you know. The other one I got is called Road to Nowhere. And it is this beautiful ochre, goldy green. It's a fairly, I mean, they're all pretty low contrast. This will be interesting to see how that knits up, because there's going to be like dark streaks and lighter streaks. But it felt really, really fun. But this last one is my absolute favorite. I want an entire sweater in this. If they could make like a Dream State but Nocturne, I'd be in trouble. I can't even tell you how much I love this one. So it's called Art of Darkness. It is this perfect snaky green. It just looks like a snake to me, but like a pretty snake that, I mean, those don't exist. I love snakes, but if there was a pretty snake, this is it. But oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I think this is the prettiest color I've ever gotten in Nocturne. I have no idea what to do with it, but it has to be something special because it's so nice. Like, I would really like this to be the contrast color on something that is like a light gray. So this like pops. I think that'd be so pretty. It smells like books. It smells like a library. Oh gosh, I need a nap. Okay, we're halfway done. This isn't actually turning out to be as long as I thought it would be, so there's that. Okay, so this is gonna be my next sock, and I kind of bought this on a whim. I was actually standing in line at the grocery store and I saw that she had her Saturday update and I was like, ooh, that's fun. I bought it. I think this is hands down my favorite colorway that she's ever done. So this is Nomadic Yarns, which is my favorite sock dyer. And this is Reading Rainbow, which I did watch as a child and I loved, but like, this is just the happiest skein of yarn I've ever seen. I love it. I love that there's like lilacs in there, or like lavenders, and then like peachy pinks and yellows and greens and blues and reds. Like, I can't even imagine what this is going to look like knit up, but this is going to be my March sock. I'm absolutely convinced this is going to be my March sock. I'm so excited about this. Like, I want to finish those other socks so I can get this going. I get her twisty sock, which is 400 yards. It's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. I'm pretty sure that's the base I like the best. Let's see. I have a collection. Actually, there's more. But wait, there's more. So this is my current collection. She does such beautiful colors. It's just insane. I think these are all twisty sock. They are. Yeah, that's my fave. I think I have one more actually. Maybe not. Maybe I knit it already. Yeah, I must have already knit it. But like, they're so good. They're so good. Oh, it would be really fun. It would take forever because you'd have to knit it on the world's tiniest needle. But if you made like a sweater with one of these, it'd be fun. Okay. This whole shelf down here has become my sock yarn shelf. I have a lot. I have a lot of sock yarn. Oh goodness. Okay. I think there's just two more. So this one, this purchase was one of those, I regret it not one bit. I do not regret this. But at the time I was like, you don't need more linen quill. Do not buy more linen quill. That whole shelf is linen quill. And I love linen quill, but I cannot wear it next to skin. It itches so bad for me. But what I kept telling myself is if you knit it as a long sleeve sweater, you're gonna have a layer underneath and that'll be fine. And so that's what I did. So they have a phenomenal range of colors. Linen Quill has, I think, one of the best color ranges. I think they've got over 50 colors. Where's I going with that? And it's also reasonably priced. So, and they do sales periodically. So I got this on a sale. So I think each skein was like $12, $13. So not that bad considering it's fingering weight. You get 400 yards or 437, I think, yards per 100 grams. So it goes a long way. I plan on holding mine double, but they released some new colors. And y'all, okay, so this is the main one I got. This is called, I think it's Pale Celery. Yeah, which is honestly a disgusting name. But it is this perfect, super, super pale green. And I love it. I got, how many of these did I get? I got 6 of these. So again, I plan on holding these double and knitting. Would I really love it? I'd love to have the long sleeve tulle stitch pattern already, but I don't think that's coming out immediately. So that's okay. I may just like engineer one for myself. So just knit a tulle stitch tee and then just keep the sleeves going and taper them, because I think I can figure that out at this point. But why do I keep smelling my yarn? It doesn't smell like anything. This one doesn't smell like a library. So that's the main one I got. And then I actually forgot that I added another color in here because I bought it, it got here really fast, and then I wrapped it up. I didn't even open it. So I didn't open this up till yesterday. And when I reached in and grabbed the first color, I was like, but I thought I bought green. I did. I just bought one skein, and it is probably my new favorite. Honestly, it is called Magnolia Blossom. You guys, I'm glad I bought the green for a sweater, but I think I'm gonna need a sweater in this too. So next time they have a sale, actually no, I have to knit up. I have, oh gosh, I have 3 sweater quantities, 3 or 4 sweater quantities of linen quill. So I've got to knit one sweater first before I start buying more. But I am using one of my sweater quantities, I'm using in a blanket. So there's that. But yeah, I think these are just very springy, very fun. Maybe this will be like my Easter sweater. Easter sweater. I could put this at the top and the bottom, kind of do that weird tip thing again. I don't want to do that on every sweater, but oh, I love it. There were like 5 new colors. I liked all of them. They were great. I didn't end up doing this, but they had a linen quill like sampler you could buy where you got like a 10 or 20 gram skein of every single linen quill color. And they had it at Christmas, and it was in my cart so many times. It was in my cart, out of my cart, in my cart, out of my cart. And I resisted. I was like, I don't need, because I think it was like $200, which is pricey. And I was just like, you're paying off loans. You do not need this. So I did not get it. And I'm glad I didn't, because in a way it's also just a bunch of mini skeins that I don't need more than mini skeins. I have a lot of mini skeins. Okay. Oh, this is a long one. I've got 2 more things. One is yarn related, one is not. So I said I bought some more fiber. One of the things when I was going through my tubs of fiber is because I was getting club colorways, I was getting like whatever I was gonna spin up with these is going to be striped, or it's gonna be like a variegated, which is pretty. I love that. It's fun to make. It keeps it interesting when you're spinning it. But there's only so many striped sweaters that I want to knit with hand spun. And what I was really craving was just a solid. Like I just want some really beautiful solid color fiber that I can make a sweater with, and I won't have to worry about like color sequence or anything like that. And it's like my phone. I know my phone is listening to me 100%. I don't care what anybody says. Our phones are listening to us. But I guess Labby and May was too, because they now sell fiber. So this is the confetti. This is, I forget what the name was, what the color name was. But I think there's only one in the confetti right now. I mean, I can think of a lot of names for it, but I don't know what the actual name was. Like Nocturne, I think it might have been that, or Noir. I don't remember. That's really annoying. But so they have a new formulation for their confetti yarn, or new base for their confetti yarn. It's like a mixture of superfine merino and Shetland, which is just very interesting to me because those are like opposite ends of the spectrum when I think of them. So I think of Shetland yarn as very rustic and scratchy but durable. Superfine merino I think of as delicate, very short staple length, and not as durable. So it was very interesting to me that they mix the two. And I've already tried like a little bit of a test over here, and I'm going to love drafting this. It is so airy, and it's got like a shine, like a luster to it. I mean, you can probably see that. And I don't know if that's the superfine merino that does that. I don't know if that's just the way they dye it. But it also has these little neps in here, but thankfully they are not in big clumps. They're actually like incorporated into the fiber. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. So these were in, I think 4 ounce. Maybe they were, I think they were, I don't remember. I think they were in ounces. I think they were 4 ounce braids, and I bought 5 of them. I kind of wish I had gotten a 6th, if I'm honest, because I want to do a 3-ply again. Because I like how sturdy that yarn is, and I feel like it's gonna hold up in a sweater better. But I didn't think that through, because I was like, I can just spin 1 ply onto a bobbin, like 1 whole braid onto a bobbin, and then ply 3 together. But for my last 2 skeins, I'm going to have to split them so that there's like equal 3 weights, which I wish I'd have thought through and just bought. I mean, I probably could still buy another one. The problem is I have to pay a pretty high shipping fee, and I don't really want to spend all that for just 1 extra braid. So I think I'm just gonna math it and try to split up my fiber so that I have equal weights divided in 3, and then just have like not a full, like, yeah, but I think I'll still have enough. So it's just so pretty. It's so pretty. It smells good too. Doesn't smell like anything crazy. But this is probably going to be my next spinning project as soon as I finish the purple one I'm working on. I think this will look so good in a sweater, and I'm so excited about it. And I think they're planning to continue doing fiber. I'll kind of give a spoiler. I also bought more fiber from Sonder. Sonder Yarn Co. now has fiber for their Sunday bases. So it's the same base, or like fiber, that makes their Sunday yarn. And the Sunday foreplay and the Sunday morning DK. Sunday morning, not just Sunday. And I love that. And I'm really curious about what that fiber is going to be. I think right now they only have it in one color, but I love that color. And so I bought 6 of those. So we will see. So I may have 2, I may get my wish and have 2 solid yarn solid spins that I can make sweaters out of, and then maybe I'll go back to craving my variegated yarn. But I'm really hoping I can kind of keep up the spinning. I think I will. I think I've gotten into it enough now and I enjoy it. I think I'll keep spinning. I'm definitely doing the Tour de Fleece this year. I'm looking forward to that. All right. Okay, I have one more thing. Has nothing to do with fiber, but it's one of my favorite things I got myself for my birthday. There is a Mexican restaurant in Texas called El Arroyo, and you've probably seen their marquees on like Instagram or Facebook, and they have like the funny little quotes, and you can actually send in suggestions, and they may put it on the marquee, or the marquee. I love them. They sell merchandise. And I got their playing cards for Christmas, and each one has a different quote on it. They sell books, like coffee table books with like different volumes of their signs. So I got volume 1. But I got a coffee mug, and I think it's hilarious. So it says, "I'd rather be someone's shot of tequila than anyone's cup of tea." Oh, can you see that? There we go. And this just makes me so happy. So I might end up taking this to work and have this be my work mug, but I might not. I might keep this at home for myself. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll drink my coffee out of this. But I think that's hilarious. I also got a card. It's on my fridge. It says, "In dog margaritas, I've only had one." This is just, their signs absolutely crack me up. They're so funny. I could quote several of them. Like one of them was like, "One day you're young and carefree, the next day you have a favorite grocery store." Or, "I don't always roll joints, but when I do, it's my ankle." Oh, they're hilarious. You should go look them up. But they also have merch if you're interested. So you could have a coffee table book full of those funny things. Oh man. Okay, guys. That's it. That was a lot. Now I get to clean up this mess. I'm going to I have to do my taxes today. So I'm going to do that maybe tomorrow. I might put that off till tomorrow. I don't know. I actually don't hate doing my taxes. So I got to do that. Got to do some meal prep. Got to do some laundry. I'm going to watch a lot of TV. Do some knitting and some spinning and some relaxing. And trying to stay cozy because it's cold. I wonder what it is now. It's 29 degrees now. So we're still in the 20s. Probably won't be doing any gardening today. But I hope you guys have a good couple weeks. I will be back here in 2 weeks. But I hope you guys get lots of time for knitting and relaxing. Hope you get to spend some time with friends and family. And I will see you back in 2 weeks. Bye.